Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Bone Scholars, and we are trying to make this channel good for those who want to learn more and more about communication skills. I normally call it a life skill because once you've learned it, you don't have to really worry about anything else then. Now, this live session that we are starting, let's see how far we can really make it for each day. But we are going to make it we're going to make it useful to those who want to know about communication skills, who are wanting to know about communication skills, but they can't really afford to spend that much because communication skills courses are not that cheap. They're not really cheap. But I think if we, or rather if I can make it possible for you to get some inputs on communication skills, how you can improve, I'll be much happier to do that. I have got a little bit of a music in the background. I think you can hear that. Just some relaxing music. Yeah. So that sounds better along with my voice. I think this is kind of complementing my voice. Okay, so yesterday we had a great discussion about the fear of public speaking and how to overcome it. Today, we are moving to another very common question I hear from English learners, and which is, should we learn grammar first or should we focus on speaking English? Now, what is important? Which one should we focus? Yeah. Those who are getting connected, I would request them to get along with me, ask questions, and so that we can answer them. All right, so today's topic, should we learn grammar first or should we focus on speaking English? What's more effective? What gives us results faster? Now tell me in the chat, do you feel stuck when speaking because you are unsure of grammar? Or do you avoid grammar just just try to speak fluently? I know that it is very difficult to actually get hold of the grammar. It's not that easy to comprehend. And that's what happens. Most of the people, they try to start with the grammar, and when they cannot comprehend it, they kind of give up, and that's the end of the story. That's where your communication journey ends, because most of the people, they don't tell you that grammar actually is not the way to start with. Okay, now the case for grammar first. Now, why people focus on the grammar? It helps to build correct sentences, the structure of the sentences. It reduces the fear of making mistakes. Now, if you've learned it, it's great. But if you've not done it, then don't start with it for communication, because this is definitely going to put your morale down and you're not going to continue with the communication skills journey. Grammar also gives you a sense of control over the language, and you will definitely be more confident when you are having the command over the grammar. Okay, now I have an example. Like, imagine that you want to swim and you have read three books on the swimming but never entered the pool. Will you be able to learn it? No. You have to enter the pool. You have to enter the pool to really understand the nitty gritties of the practice of swimming. So when you get into it, you will be you will be actually knowing the tricks of the trade. Okay. Now when we have the speaking, in case we learn the speaking first, just think about your childhood. How did you really know the language that you are speaking now? When you were kid, you learned from your environment, you learned from your parents, you learned from your friends, and that's how you mastered your speaking skills. You never worried about the grammar. The grammar you learned during the um, school days. So let's not worry about it. So this same logic you can use for your communication skills journey. Don't get after the grammar. Learn to speak first. Whatever ways you are able to speak. It's wrong or right. You don't have the tenses there. You don't have the vocabulary. Try to find something. Try to find some sign language, and maybe you will be able to do that. This is how you have to get after this. Speak more and more to go there, to get there. Now, there are lot many common myths. Speaking without the grammar means poor English. Well, in my opinion, it's not true. It's the fluency first. I'm sorry. It's the fluency first, and then accuracy. When you know to speak, you can always go back to the grammar, test or check the correctness of what you are speaking. This is how everybody learns. This is how even I have learned. You have to get into the stream. Have courage to do that. In maybe in one of the sessions we'll be talking more about the confidence, because this is where your confidence comes into picture. You have to first develop that confidence. Believe yourself that you really can do it. You really can speak. Most of the times what happens is we are not confident of ourselves. We just don't take that plunge. We just don't get into the waters. You have to have the confidence first to get in there and start learning this a great skill that will really take you out of the situations in your life. Okay. Now, there is something called the balanced approach as well, when we have speak plus learn grammar. Yeah. So, learn grammar in the context, use grammar to polish your speaking, not delay it. Practice speaking daily, even with mistakes. Learn one rule at a time and apply it immediately in conversation. So whatever you are learning, you learn one rule of the grammar. Try to check whether you have learned it. Try to implement it in your conversations all through the day. I know it's not that easy to really fit in whatever you have learned in the situations, but then you have to find the situation to really implement whatever you have learned. It's the same thing with the vocabulary, it's the same thing with the grammar. In vocabulary, also, it goes the same way. Whatever word you learn, you have to see how I can use it. You should be craving for it. You should always be after that how I can use this word in my conversations. Now, you should pick one tense per week if at all you're so very focused on the grammar. Say simple past and use it in your everyday in a few sentences. That's how the grammar supports your speech and it'll make you feel better. Now, as you keep doing this, your confidence level goes up. You have to carry on with your confidence also parallelly. Language and communication definitely is your goal, but to see that how really it builds up is another aspect of it. So you have to keep on thinking how you can really support your confidence as well. Okay, so I have the chats here. I think, yeah, chat filter, top messages, top messages. Okay, okay, right. Hi Jones. Hi Jones, how are you? Thanks for your message in the chat box. Thanks, I'm happy to see this message around. And those who want to connect, and please throw your questions at me so that I can make it really more interactive. Take some inputs from you and really discuss what information I have. And I've been speaking in the sessions and talking a lot about communication skills to it really is disgusting actually. Not a happy thing to see that people are struggling to communicate and people are struggling to even express their feelings. So send your messages around, throw your questions at me so that I can answer them. That'll be great. Okay, now can all those who are connected to me, can you tell me what's stopping you from speaking English daily? What's stopping you to communicate? Of course, when we talk about communication, it's actually not the language that we are talking about. We're not talking about English alone. You're talking about your expression in whichever we cannot forget, or we cannot really omit the requirement of English, because this is a global business language which, if not today, tomorrow you will have to really make it, you will have to learn it. Now do you now the next question that I want to ask you is, do you prefer grammar books or YouTube conversations? Yeah, share your answers. And yep, those who are connected, can I have some questions from your side? What's stopping you to practice communication skills? Do you have some kind of a stage fear, or what's that is which is stopping you from having this communication skill? All right, now I'll be taking some of the, let me just browse through what people think about communication skills, what questions people have. um I have here, what is the best way to practice speaking in English? Yeah, and so it's Rose here, and I'm reading her answer. I think you already know that if you want to improve your English speaking skills, you have to work and practice, right? So you have to speak. Studying grammar will never improve your speaking. Listening to English alone will never improve your speaking. You have to actually speak in the mirror over the recording divide, speak, and device. Basically, it's device. So there is a spelling mistake over there. Over a recording device. Speak, speak, speak. And this is what even I would recommend. So when it's not listening, no matter, it really doesn't matter whether you are listening to YouTube videos, consuming a lot of content. What is important is that you must try to speak, imitate them, copy them, whoever you are listening to, and try to speak more and more. If you're really very much interested, I will be more than happy to analyze your audio so you can get connected to me, and maybe you can send your audio and I will definitely give you the feedback. But you need to subscribe my channel for that. So you have to actually speak in the mirror. No speaking partner is required. You learn through imitation. I'm not talking about repeating after native speakers using the exact same words. Actually, that also works to improve your pronunciation. I'm talking about something a little more advanced than that. Listen to conversation, a story, or some kind of a speech, and then try to deliver that speech in your own words. All right. So that's a great idea. Thanks, Rose, for really kind of supporting what even I have been talking about. That there is no other solution, but you have to speak more and more. Okay. Now, here she's talking about some progressive training. The idea is that you start with something easy and then increase the difficulty of the activity, forcing yourself to get better. Now, this is one of the ideas that she's talking about. This is very effective way to move our words. Start by imitating small portions of the speech first, like phrase or short sentences, then move on to imitating larger portions of the speech, like long sentences and even groups of the sentences, and finally try to deliver the entire speech on your own. Okay, you get to listen and imitate correct English, which helps you to learn from sentences properly. You learn idioms, grammars. Okay, now she's talking about all those grammar part. I think you'll automatically come to know that what needs to be done. You will really, I mean, as the process goes, as you keep on working on it, you will start getting the idea of what you need, how you can really work it out. Yeah. So it's not really difficult. It's not really difficult. And sometimes when we are ill, when we are not well, we automatically get that sense what I need to eat. I mean, what my body requires, whether you need water or you need food. I mean, we automatically get that sense. Here in this journey also, the same thing will happen. The moment you start speaking more and more, you will get that sense what needs to be done. You need to work on vocabulary more, or you need to work on your grammar, if grammar, which part, English, the which tense is going weaker, which needs to be strengthened. So this is how you start working on it. So you automatically will get that sense of how things are going to work, right? So okay, now the next it's Harshada Deshpande. I'm reading the reply here. How do I speak English confidently and fluently? So this question has been answered, and let's look at this idea. It doesn't matter how good your English really is and how many books you have read. When it comes to confidence, everything is psychological. I told you this. You got to have the confidence along with your speaking practice. You may know English, you may have read many books, you may have done many things. You may be a good writer as well. But if you are not having the confidence to go with, it's of no use. I used to read, no further she says, I used to read a lot of novels as a kid, even newspapers for that matter. My grammar was good and I wrote great essays. Yeah? So, so everybody is versatile in their school days, but when you grow up, then when there is a wider world and you have a lot many people competing for the same thing, vying for the same thing, then you find it difficult because then you just can't stand there, because the world is full of phenomenal people, and when you have to kind of compete with them, it's not that easy. I used to, further she says, even newspaper for that matter, my grammar was good, and I wrote great essays, but when it comes to speaking English, I fumbled and just couldn't be confident enough, though the statement was right in my head. Right? So everything is there in your head, but you can't just spill. You just can't spill the beans. Yeah. Okay. The key to speaking English confidently. Now, what is the key to speaking English confidently? Let's read what she has to say. What she says is pretend and make yourself believe you don't know any other language. Say to yourself that I speak fluent English. Believe that this is your first language. Indeed, this works magic because when you don't know any other language, this is your last resort. And mind you, stick to it, don't give up. Think in English, and that's very important. Thinking in English, and most of the people can't do that. It's not easy though. This is my trick. She says, when you think in your language, you respond in your language. When you think in your language, you respond in your language. If you think in English, no matter how hard it seems, you are going to get used to it and it'll automatically flow while speaking. Try this. If you think you are weak in grammar or your accent needs to be improved, watch English movies first with subtitles, then without it. Thank you. That was great. That was great. Yeah. So here she's talking about that how you have to make your default setting in one language. Like in mobile, we make the default setting for everything. In computers, we make default setting for everything. Whenever we set something, we always make some kind of a default setting. Here, we have to make the default setting for English. I'm not going to speak in any other language unless and until I really master this. Let me tell you, if you have mastered English, then you don't need any other thing. You might need German when you go to Germany. You might need some other language for, depending on the country that you are in. But if you are fluent in English, you really can survive everywhere. You will definitely find somebody other person who can speak in English. You'll be able to sail through. And you will be able to make an impact as well. So when we talk about making an impact, when we talk about making an impact through your personality, to show your personality, English definitely is going to help you out. So you need not to, you should not be ignoring just because you cannot. You are not confident enough. You got to think more about your confidence at the same time. Yep. All right. Now, how do I? Now, the next question was, how do I talk like a native speaker? I think here first we will have to focus on speaking in English. Then comes speaking like a native English speaker. You have to have first the foundation, the basic foundation. Afterwards, we can talk about native. I know there are a lot of software professionals who struggle with these kind of problems because they have to deal with they have to deal with the professionals who are from US, who are from UK or some other country, and they need to get that native accent just to understand first, then they can speak. So here comes the native English speaker, and in my opinion we are not going to talk about it now, maybe some other session later. But first important thing is that we should be talking about English speaking, at least something we should be speaking. So I'm skipping this for the time being. Yeah. Now, this is a very good question that I just got. How can I improve my English at home? Yes, Katie, let me just go through your answer. I won't suggest you some books or and videos and stuff. The only thing standing between you and speaking is you. Fantastic. I really loved it. Quite confusing? Let me clear this out. Whenever we try to learn something or think to achieve something, a voice comes from deep inside us telling us you cannot do this. It's up to our consensus either to listen this voice or lose confidence and just try a bit harder. Secondly, whenever you try to speak, don't try to translate it inside your mind and speak. You will be the this will be the last thing you will be doing before shutting yourself up. Try to think in English, try to talk to yourself in English. Attitude is very important, very vital point. Thanks, Kate. That was really wonderful. Even I think the same. So you got to have that confidence. You got to really think that I really can make it. So first, it has to be here. It has to be here that you really want to do it. Then comes how will you do it? Who will be teaching you? How will you be learning? There are various number of ways of really doing it. And in the current situation, and when the technology is available, when you have YouTube, you have social media, I think it's just an excuse that we can give to ourselves that I'm not getting it. Communication is very easy now to learn with YouTube and stuff like that available around the corner all the time, 24 by 7. So this is a real excuse, I would say. Okay. Now the next one is how can I learn English fast and well? That's Yogesh. I have been teaching English speaking skills for 13 years. Let me tell you what it takes to learn English speaking. Wow. Oh, great. So, Yogesh has been teaching English speaking skills for 13 years, and now what he says is first, intensity. If you are, if you do something wholeheartedly, you're, you automatically learn it faster. Hence, learn English with, okay, with huge amount of focus out there. Don't entertain any distractions to get the faster results. Suppose you're watching a celebrity or a business tycoon, don't change the video or channel. Give your 100%. Listen to it. You need to have a lot of patience because any video on YouTube, you will really find it for 30 minutes, 40 minutes sometimes. Podcasts are generally for 30 minutes, 1 hour sometimes. You need to listen. You never know where what thing will strike you. You got to wait for that inspiration to come from those videos. So definitely you need to spend a lot of time there. You need to consume lot of content to get the best for yourself. Second, right direction. The right direction makes all the difference. I have met many people who have been struggling to improve their English speaking skill for years. They were able to speak English fluently within 2 months, 1 or 2 months, once they got the right direction. Yeah. So start speaking English with small and smallest topics as non-stop practice. Day repeat practice. You should repeat practice and small stories, jokes, small scripts. This is how you should be doing. Third is patience. Although the question is about speaking English quickly, I need to state that everybody has his or her own pace of learning. Moreover, there are other deciding factors such as focus, devotion, and desire. If you have burning desire to learn something, you will learn faster. So you got to have patience. You don't have to really give up. Now, if English speaking skills are important to you, time does not matter. You may take 4 to 6 months while your friend takes 2 to 3 months to learn English speaking skills. However, both of you will reap the benefits of developing English speaking skills. Thank you, Mr. Yogesh. I think this is fantastic. Patience is something, a new element that you have added, and of course, again, some of the other way, this is also related to the confidence. You can speak English confidently and skyrocket your career growth if you have the right direction and willingness to improve. Well, so thank you very much. I think we're going to stop with this and get connected during this live session. And slowly, I think we're going to freeze on at what time, and we'll be streaming this live so that you can get the benefit out of it. But then you have to get connected to us. Get connected, send your questions, so that we can have that interactive session as and when we have the streaming on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.